Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm a tourist to this island. Are you gonna greet me or not? You turn your back on me. You jerk, you're not gonna greet me? Oh, I swear. You think people in these tropical islands would have good hospitality, but this guy doesn't even want to look at me. Oh, well, who cares? Hi guys, I am Syrachime, and I welcome you back to another episode of my Pokemon FireRed Let's Play. In the last episode, we caught the legendary Pokemon Articuno, and took the route over here towards Cinnabar Island and made it here. And now in this episode, I'm going to try to coax some information out of this mean-spirited person here who's not good to tourists. And we're going to progress on and look around Cinnabar Island a little bit. So what do you got to say, old man? Scientists conduct experiments in the burnt building. You know, the one they call Pokemon Mansion. Well, I don't know where a Pokemon Mansion is. You might think this is it, but no, this is the Pokemon Lab. And if you go in here, there's a couple of good things you could do here. First, if you talk to this guy here, we study Pokemon extensively every day. People often bring us rare Pokemon for examination. I will not do that because I like my team. If you go over here, you'll see this picture. This is actually a photo. Dr. Fuji? I wonder where we've ever met Mr. Fuji. Oh, excuse me, Dr. Fuji. Totally did not just give that away. Okay, so anyway, you go over here. You might have recalled earlier. Let's check out these rooms individually. We have the meeting room. This is where we go to meet people. I'm a tourist here. I want to find out what's new. What we got? Hello there. Do you happen to have a Raichu? As a matter of fact, I do. Would you agree to trade for my Electrode? No, I will not. And the reason for that is because, well, I'll just tell you about that right here. In this trade, you could obtain the Electric-type Pokemon Electrode in exchange for the Electric Pokemon Raichu. Now, I would not necessarily recommend this trade, not because Electrode is a bad Pokemon, but just because of the fact that Electrode is not as versatile as what Raichu could be. Electrode can only learn electric attacks, and while it is much faster than what Raichu would be, it's the fastest electric type in this game, it's not very powerful, nor is it really all that defensive. It's got a pretty decent special attack and special defense, but that's really about it. That and the lack of versatility means that this Pokemon is not all that good. There are a lot of other electric types out there that outclass it, and while Raichu may even be slower, I'd actually recommend picking up Raichu over that, because at least Raichu has a little bit of versatility to it, and better offenses, where Electrode just has the speed and modest offenses. So, if you're looking for an electric-type Pokemon, I'd definitely look elsewhere, because you won't really find much here. So, with that out of the way, no, I don't want your Electrode, because I like my Electra. As much of a headache as Pikachu has been trying to raise, I'm a little attached to the fella. I found this at the remarkable I found this most remarkable fossil inside Mount Moon. I think it's a rare prehistoric Pokemon. And he's not going to give it to us because he is stingy, unlike other people in this game. Alright, what do you got to say, young lady? Hi, do you have a Venonat? Want to trade it for my Tangela? Okay, apparently we've got another trade here. And if you have a Venonat, you could trade for Tangela. And if you want to know about Tangela, in this trade, you could obtain the Grass-type Pokemon Tangela. Now, Tangela I wouldn't necessarily recommend for your team because it's an okay Pokemon, and that's really about it. It has a really good defense stat combined with a pretty modest special attack stat, meaning that this thing can take some hits pretty well on the physical side and dish out the damage, but unfortunately, the rest of its stats outside of that are just subpar at best. And with a low speed stat, low special defense, and really considered a low HP stat, this thing can't take hits as well as you'd like, and not having any kind of speed to work with is kind of a letdown too. What also hurts this Pokemon is a lack of versatility and the fact that you can get a lot of other better Grass-type Pokemon earlier on in the game. So, if you're looking for a Grass-type and you don't have one as of this point, I guess it would be okay, but really, there are better Grass-types out there. This thing is outclassed by a lot of other different Pokemon. So, do I want to trade a Venonat for a Tangela? Well, the answer to that is no, not because I don't want it. Well, yes, because I don't want it, but because I don't have a Venonat. And we'll leave it at that. We'll be mean to the old man, but we'll be nice to the girl. Just because old people have gotten in my way so much in this LP. Moving on. Okay, so yes, over here we have the Pokemon Lab R&D room. Probably stands for I don't know what that stands for. Let's go find out. So we have over here this nerd that's scared to death of me. I'll teach you a nifty move. Teach it to a Pokemon and watch the fun unfold. What is it? It's called Metronome. Does this strike your fancy? No, it does not, because Metronome is a... When you talk about a move that is completely random and not dependable, that is a move that will basically allow you to have any move in the game that you want. Well, you don't get to choose. It just chooses any move in the game at random, and because of that, I really don't recommend it. It has absolutely no use. You know, it's a luck-based move, and I don't like luck-based moves. Maybe you guys do if you want it. There it is. If you don't, then also there. Okay, so we talked to this guy. Eevee can evolve into one of 3 kinds of Pokemon. This guy's behind the times because as a Pokemon X, it can evolve... Oh, he doesn't want to hear it. Okay, fine. It evolves into one of 8 different Pokemon, I think. We got 5 in this current generation. I know I said 3 earlier, but there's 5. 6, 7 in the next, and then the 8th one was unveiled in Pokemon X. I'll let you do some research if you want to find out what those are. Here we have the testing room. I still don't know what the R&D stood for. This guy says, I'm looking for the Pokemon Ponyta. Want to trade one for my seal? No, I do not, because first of all, I don't have a Ponyta, and secondly, I've already talked about seals, so there you go. Go over these computers. It's all complicated words and numbers that don't make sense, but if you go over to this computer, it's the traditional PC. Why this is in here, I'll never know. Okay, this guy right here could have some value to you. If you talk to him, hiya, I'm an important doctor. Yes, very much so, indeed. Here, I study rare Pokemon fossils all the time. I study. You have a fossil for me? Yes, I do, but I'm not giving it to you because I have no room in my party to pick it up later. Okay, I'll give it to him. Oh, this is the Helix fossil, is it? It is. I'm asking a question when he's saying an answer. It is the fossil of Ammonite, a Pokemon that is already extinct. My resurrection machine will make that Pokemon live again? Yes. So, you hurry and give me that. Alright, so just like that, we give some random doctor, an old person, our fossil. We had to battle a super nerd for. I take a little time. You go for a walk for a little while. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to take a walk. Oh, I took a walk. I'm going back in. And if you go talk to this guy again... You were late. Where were you? Apparently, I could have just taken one step and that would have done it. No, you just have to leave the room and come back and he will give you your Pokemon. Your fossil is back to life. It was an Ammonite, like I think. With that, we obtained the Ammonite. Do I want to give a name to Ammonite? No. Okay, with that, it was thrown in our box. So, yes, this is here if you want to turn your fossilized Pokemon into a... Well, into a Pokemon that you could use for your team. I don't know why you would, because as you get it at this stage, it's only at level... Ooh, coffee. I got distracted by coffee. So anyway, yep, level 5. When you get it, it's going to take forever to level up, and it's... Yeah, that's all I can really say about it. So, yeah, if you want it, there it is. If you don't, there's... Yeah. Okay, moving on. So that takes care of the Pokemon Labs, something we will not have any use for, at least I don't. And if you go up here... You will see the gym, and you know what that means. We must take the gym challenge. But wouldn't you know it, the door is locked. So once again, we cannot go to the gym, but it's not because of Team Rocket this time, or is it? What's going on here, young lady? Cinnabar's gyms. Blaine is quite the odd fellow. Really? More odd than Professor Oak? He lived on the island since way before the lab was built. Where did he live? I mean, seriously, do people, like, live in the Pokemon Center or something? Where is the rest of this island? That's it. This is it. This is the entire island. Where does he live? Maybe this was his house before it was converted to the gym. Oh well, so apparently we can't go to the gym because the door is locked. So that begs the question, where do we go? Well, if you go in the Pokemon Center and talk to this girl over here, she actually gives you a clue as to where we have to go. I came to visit the Cinnabar gym, but the door is locked tight. There should be a key for it somewhere. Could it be in that burnt-out mansion? The gym leader's friend used to live there, they say. So apparently this Pokemon mansion must house the key. Well, you know what that means. We gotta go in there and get it. If we want to get any further in this game, we gotta go, so... Off we go! Into the wild blue yonder. As my dad would say... I don't know what my dad would say, but he would say it, trust me. And we run to a wild Pokemon. I swear, I have the worst luck with random Pokemon. Well, anyway, as I was going to say, or not really going to say, but was just reminded of that in random battle, this place actually has Pokemon, believe it or not, and there are actually a few new ones that you can find here. Those new Pokemon are... The first Pokemon you can find here is one that is exclusive to FireRed, and that is the Poison-type Pokemon Coughing. Now, I won't talk much about Coughing because, as it turns out, like with many areas, you could also find its evolved form, and that happens to be the Poison-type Pokemon Wheezing. Now, the Coughing family, if you are considering it for your team, what I can say about it is that it is a really good physically defensive wall. It can take physical hits really well, and while its HP may seem low, this is actually not that bad considering the fact that Coughing only really has one weakness thanks to its ability. Unfortunately, where it does fall short is the fact that it has a low speed and a low special defense stat, meaning that it can't really take special hits all that well, and it's not going to be going first a lot. It does have some respectable attack stats to look at, but, you know, that is just... It's good, but if this Pokemon were available earlier in the game, I would have highly recommended it, but because it's so late, most people already have a full party by now, and if you don't, you're really close to it. But, you know, if you have an open spot and you're looking for a Pokemon that could take physical hits, and you're looking for a Poison type, I could definitely recommend this one. Just know that it's late, and it might be a little hard to get leveled up with the rest of your team, but if you want it, here it is. The other new Pokemon you can find here is one that is exclusive to Leaf Green, and that is the Poison-type Pokemon Grimer. Now, I won't talk about Grimer for reasons similar to why I did in Coughing, as it turns out, you could actually find Grimer's evolved form here, the Poison-type Pokemon Muck. Now, Muck isn't a horrible Pokemon. It has a really good special defense stat along with a great HP and attack stat, meaning that this thing could take some hits and dish out the damage pretty hard. What lets this Pokemon down, though, is the fact that it has a low defense and a low speed stat, meaning it can't take physical hits all that well, and you're not going to be going first a majority of the time. But that doesn't mean that Muck is a bad Pokemon. What really hurts Muck is the fact that I personally feel it is outclassed by Pokemon like Tentacruel, who could take special hits a little bit better. It can't quite hit as hard as what Muck can, but the water and poison typing really sets it apart from Muck, and I really feel it lets it down. That, combined with the fact that it is so late in the game, and trying to get this thing leveled up alongside your Pokemon and raise it alongside, if you don't have a 16 member, could be kind of hard. But, you know, if you're looking for a good Poison-type Pokemon to add to your team, or something to take special hits and can hit back pretty hard, I guess I could recommend it a little bit. Just know that I personally think it's outclassed by Pokemon like Tentacruel. Okay, so with that bio out of the way, I have some good news and some bad news for you guys. As it turns out, because of time constraints, I will actually not be taking on the Pokemon Tower at this time. But the good news is, there is one more Pokemon that I would like to show you guys. So yes, we're going to take a little detour here. I'm going to head up to Pewter City, and you will see why very shortly. This will be the last thing we do in this episode, and what that is, if you go to Pewter City, well, I'll just meet you guys there. Okay, so once you arrive here in Pewter City, you might recall earlier in the episodes, I don't know what number it was, but there was a tree blocking our path that we couldn't get to before. And trees can no longer do that to us because we are wise and experienced in many things. So what we're going to do is we're going to go behind here and we're going to cut this tree down to obtain something that you can finally get now. We could have got this earlier when we had the chance to actually come back here, but until you actually got to Cinnabar Island, you couldn't do anything with it. So if you go in this area back here, you will see these people right here. If you go talk to them, talk to this guy. The secrets of space, the mysteries of Earth. There are so many things about which we know so little. But that should spur us to study harder, not toss in the towel. The only thing you should toss. Well, what about seismic toss? Should I teach that to a Pokemon? Well, I was about to make some kind of corny joke about space and stuff, but why not? You know what seismic toss here, I explained it earlier. Basically, that will do as much damage as what it does to your level. So if you're at level 100, it will do 100 base power. If you're at level 50, it does 50, so on and so forth. It's an okay move, but I kind of like my team how it is, so I'm not going to teach it. If you want to, though, that's there. Save that for competitive battling or other things. Anyway, talk to this guy here. We have 2 fossils of rare prehistoric Pokemon on exhibit. Yes, you do. And that's kind of the reason I wanted to come here, because if you talk to this guy here... Shh, listen, I need to share a secret with somebody. Okay, you could talk to me. I'm very good at keeping secrets, unless, you know, it's something interesting, then I'm not. I think that this chunk of amber contains a Pokemon DNA. It would be shattering scientific breakthrough if Pokemon could be resurrected from it. But my colleagues just ignore what I have to say. So I have a favor to ask. Sure, shout it out for the world to see. I want this Pokemon to be... I want to get this Pokemon... Excuse me, I want you to get this examined at the Pokemon lab somewhere. And with that, we obtain the old amber. He wants us to take that to the science lab to get resurrected. Well, we are going to do that right now. We will make this old man's dream come true. Wait, old man. I'm tossing the fossil. I'll be nice. Okay, so I'm going to fly back to Cinnabar Island, and I will meet you guys there in just a minute. Be right back. And back here on Cinnabar Island, I want to go back to the Pokemon Lab so we can give this amber to this guy in here. And as you would expect, yes, this is a new Pokemon, not the R&D room. Still don't know what that stands for. If you go over here and give this guy the fossil... Hiya, I'm an important doctor. Yes, we've seen this before. Have you a fossil for me? Take it. Oh, that is an old amber, is it? It is. It is a fossil of an Aerodactyl, a Pokemon that is already extinct. My resurrection machine will make the Pokemon live again. Well, yeah. Is that what we want to have happen? Sure, why not? So hurry up, give that to me. I'm going to have to go take a walk. Take a walk. So we will do what's true Pokemon fashion, go outside and come back in, because apparently that fixes things. And he will have available to us... You, late! Where were you? Your fossil is back to life. It was an Aerodactyl, like I think. And with that, we receive Aerodactyl. Now, a quick little info about Aerodactyl. If you resurrect the old amber, you will obtain the rock flying type Pokemon Aerodactyl. Now, Aerodactyl is actually a really good Pokemon. With its speed, it has one of the fastest speeds in the game, and with a pretty modest attack stat, you have something that can hit really hard and hit really fast. Unfortunately, there are two things that really hinder this Pokemon. The first is its defenses are relatively low. It is a frail, fast, hard-hitting Pokemon, and because of that, it wouldn't necessarily be all that good, but there's another reason that really limits this Pokemon's usability, and that is the fact that once you acquire it, this Pokemon is only at level 5, and your Pokemon at this point should be anywhere from level 35 to level 45. So getting this thing leveled up could be a real pain, but, you know, if you don't mind that, you're looking for a good flying type, something that can hit really hard and really fast, I could highly recommend this Pokemon. It's just like I said, the thing that lets this Pokemon down is the fact that it's so late in the game, and you get it so low leveled. That, and besides the fact that it is frail, but... You know, if you're looking for a good flying type Pokemon, I could definitely recommend this if you don't care for the fact that it is late. Okay, so with that, you could obtain the Aerodactyl. You know, if you could get this thing higher leveled, or if this was the original games, I'd definitely recommend it a lot more, but because you won't get it so low leveled and everything like that, I don't want to give it a nickname, nor do I want to use it. So, it was placed in box 1. Alright, so that basically takes care of everything that you could really do here, at least for right now. And I think that will do it for this episode. So, next time, in Pokemon FireRed, we're going to go check out the Burn Tower and try to find that key to get into the gym, because I do not like being blocked out of places, if you had not guessed by now. So yes, for some reason, the old Mr. Fuji's responsible for us not being able to get into the gym. That's kind of funny. I'll have something funny to talk to you guys about that in an episode or two. Alright, well anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. I will catch you guys next time.